Hi, I'm Kat Edel from the Dyscalculia Network. Today in our series of times tables videos, we're going to talk about the 5 times tables and how this relates to our 10 times tables and our pre-skills from the video earlier this week on doubling and halving. So we're going to start with thinking again about our 10 times table, and here's a very similar representation to Rob using for the 10 times table. So it's a dot pattern representation of groups of 10 and how many groups of 10 are there. There's one group of 10, two groups of 10. I've highlighted in yellow the key facts Rob was talking about, the facts that we can work up and down from. So if we know 5 times 10 is 50, we can work out that 6 times 10 is another group, and so on. So when we're learning about the 5 times tables, the first thing we need to have done is the pre-skill of doubling and halving, but most especially the halving. So we need to know that if we halve groups of 10, we get groups of 5. So already the child should know at this point that half of 40 is 20, half of 50 is 25, and so on. So straight away we can show them, well look, if you know your groups of 10, you can halve them and you can get your groups of 5 really quickly. So if you know that 4 times 10 is 40, then you can know that 4 times 5 is exactly half of that. So it's going to be half of 40 is 20. Now this gives the children immediate confidence. Again, that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for small steps so the child feels instantly confident and comfortable with the idea of 5s being half of 10s. Now, if the child finds that more difficult for, say, for example, they're still finding it a little bit tricky to work out half of 70 is 35, we should have that as a pre-skill, but if they were finding it difficult, we can still use our groups of 5 and use our key facts. We say, well, do you know what 5 lots of 5 is? 10 lots of 5 is 50, so 5 lots of 5 is half, it's 25. So could we count from 25? We could say it's 25. So 6 groups would be 30, so 7 groups would be 35. So we can use our key facts. So we're talking about 2 different processes here. First of all, we can use the halving that we've taught from the 10 times table and then from working on halving multiples of 10 up to 100. And then we can also keep using those key facts, thinking about the ones that we already know, because they're really, really useful if you forget something. So they're really, really useful to know. To practice that, I've got a really easy little game. I hope you can see here. So I've got my groups of 5, which I could build with my nuggets. You can see I've got them here. So I could build the groups of 5 with my nugget. I can't fit 10 lots of 5 on my desk here, I've discovered. If, again, the child's using Cuisinart rods, like I did with the 2 times tables, you could use the 5 rods. You could have 10 5 rods. Again, easy to see with the Cuisinart rod that 5 is half of the 10s, groups of 10s. Groups of 5 is half as big, so you can use those. So you could have groups of 5. But for this purpose, I've drawn out my groups of 5 here. And then I've written counting 5, another pre-skill to 5 times tables. And I've written 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. And here's an easy little practice game. The child throws the dice. We've got a 0 to 9 dice here. They're very, very easy to find. I'll put a link on the post. A 0 to 9 dice. We use the 0 as a 10, so we can write a 1 in front of it with a Sharpie or something. Then we throw the dice, we take turns. I've got 4, so I've got to put my counter on 4 groups of 5, and then I can say, what is 4 groups of 5? It's 20. So it's a simple practice game where you've got a lot of scaffolding. So you've got the dice patterns to look at, and you've got the 5, 10, 15, 20 to look at as well. So we carry on, and we each have one of these. I should have said that. I forgot to print too. Each of us should have one of these, and we take turns to throw and put a counter on our answer until somebody gets 4 counters in a row. And the person who gets 4 counters in a row is the winner. So a nice little easy game to practice and work on the 5 times tables. We can also work on 5's division. First of all, again, using the idea of how many 5s make 20. So how many 5s make 20 is 1, 2, 3, 4 5s make 20. And I would always be thinking about that key fact, 5 5s are 25. So how many 5s make 20 is 1 group less, so it's 4 5s. And again, if we wanted to find out how many groups of 5 make 30, we could think about how many groups of 5 make 25. At this point, you'll notice again, no written work. It's all about the hands-on resources and games. Love to know how you get on with the games. Have a great day.